Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the MillionDollarConvos podcast. On today's episode, we have a very, I'm going to say, independent young lady. I'll be mild. Very independent young lady in the world of business, upcoming entrepreneur. She is an entrepreneur. I'm not going to say upcoming because she's here. The CEO and founder of Ficadi Travel, Ms. Roshene Grindley.
That's correct.
All right. Welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well.
Doing very well. You seem unsure.
No, it's just I have a lot of things that, I plan to do, a lot of things that I need to get executed as well. So that plays on my mind from time to time.
Right. But you can't get everything done at the same time, so you take things stages, correct?
Correct.
All right. So, for all local and international audiences that don't quite know who you are, can you give us a brief character definition of who Roshene is and where she's coming from?
Roshene is a very, dedicated business person.
Right.
Anything related to business, that's definitely my forte. I am rather humble as well. I came from, I could say not the best. Yeah, definitely not the best.
How was that for you? What was your socioeconomic situation?
What I would say is that it was definitely difficult. But how my mother basically grew me and my brother, it wasn't in a case where we were in need of anything. Like, the necessities were definitely there. Food, education was a must. Must. No matter the financial situation, you definitely got to school. Right? Besides that, there's a lot of things that I did in order to, even from a tender age of 10, I've been doing business. I used to sell in the downtown area with my uncle, my brother, and my cousin. And
is that how you sent yourself to school, or was it just?
No. As I said, my mother ensured that anyway there, should find it in order that school was, everything that we needed was there. However, we're going to want things. And we definitely did want things. We used to sell downtown. It wasn't we have to do it, it wasn't that case. It was just that we saw it as, fun to basically, we wanted to be around our cousins. Nonetheless, it pushed me to, yes, definitely, where I was pushed out of my comfort zone because I was a very shy person. Right?
Can't shy yourself.
Can't shy, but I was shy. Yeah. But the thing is that one instance where my brother, and my cousin, this is the actual moment that I realized that I had to step out of my comfort zone, and that the same methods that everybody else is doing, I have to come with something different. Right. So me, my brother, and my cousin were downtown, right where mother's is actually, and we 3 of us got 10 watches to sell, and we basically put them on a stick, and we wanted them to sell on their own.
On a stick?
Yeah, man, put them on a stick. Okay. And just hang them up because, our uncle they pay with the same regardless. Right. If we sell nothing, we're not sell nothing. Same money. However, but if you sell more, it will give you a top up.
Of course.
But we normally just settle with, all of we get the same pay anyway, we sell right now sell, so why put it in the work? Yeah. So I was sitting there and I was like, no man, I want to top up, So what I did was, as I said, I was a very shy person. Like anything people said to me ball, right? My clothes off, I don't talk to nobody. And I took up the watches, and they were there for a couple hours. As I said, we put them out there for sell themselves. And I took up some of the watches, and I said, all right, cool, I'll go down into town. Because where we were, it's not big tree where the crowd was, right? It was...
So you're selling these watches in areas that the populace wasn't gravitating.
No.
So does that seem a bit redundant as relates to selling?
Alright, so persons were there, enough. It wasn't like a vicinity where persons were there. But it wasn't as big tree or any of those locations. So I took up the watches and I said, alright, I'll go head to that side. And I started to call out that's something that, why, me never really want to become, I don't know if it was embarrassment, cause never really want people to look for me, me never want some of my classmates or anything like that. So, I kind of put on my hoodie and, sometimes my classmates see me and just, me, sell a watch. So I went down there, minutes, sell off, come back, get more, sell off. Them share me, go take up your book. I don't want to watch, And what kept me going was that one, the LED, I don't even know the LED watch them, with the rubber band. Want that. Wanted the Converse, the uppers one, so the uppers. Yes. So that kept playing in my mind. So even when in business things get difficult, what I envision for my business long term keeps playing in my mind.
Let's talk about that transition then from selling watches on a stick to Ficadi Travel, right?
To selling packages. Travel packages. Like, what made you choose travel?
Alright, so travel is, I always hear a person say, pick something that you like. Tourism was never a field that I was looking into. When I left high school, I wanted to be an architect. No, when I was in high school, I wanted to be an architect because I love drawing. Then, after graduating, I was like, I wanted to delve into the field of engineering, aviation engineering, right? However, the subjects that I did in high school were that of, anything that was bringing me to the path of architecture. So I had to go out and do the sciences, AutoCAD, AutoCAM, all of that, to do aviation engineering. And after I get the subjects, I'm like, I better want to do this. Then I spent a year after that saying, I'm going to work, right? Normal folks, them say, once you start work, you don't want to go back to school, right? When you start make money, you don't want to go to school. Whilst working, I realized that I don't like work for people. I do not like to work for people. It's not that I'm disrespectful and I would answer my managers or anything of that, but it was just, I found it very difficult for somebody to tell me when to wake up, when to sleep, when to eat, when to stop eating. I hated going into, because I was situated in New Kingston, and I hated going into restaurants and seeing people doing this. I hate working for working on other person's time. That was a huge problem for me. So I started my business whilst I was working at 9 to 5. And, tourism, it was just, I love adventure. I love to be out there. We're in Jamaica, one of the major tourism countries. And, I said, all right, honestly, it's just a starter thing. That was it. Just like a starter thing.
It wasn't a genuine interest. It's just, all right, let me try this.
Yeah, definitely. I tried it and I ran with it.
So
right?
What was the planning process?
No planning. Nothing.
Alright, so Ficadi Travel and Roshene too very, very far off as it relates to the business name. What was
business name.
What was the naming process? Because I don't see the correlation.
Actually, I started a store in 2017. That was called Ficadi. And I like names that are unique and persons don't know it and all of that. I love that. But how the name came about is that my friend introduced me to his friend who named Ficadi. It's actually an African name, how he spells his name, but I spell it like how I did hear it, right? And once Googling it, I found it's an Italian word for the coolest. So it was a clothing brand, so it's coolest clothing, things like that. So I just ran with it. As I said, I started a store. Just one day, but it broke. I'm gonna say, I need some money. What am I gonna do? Sell. Right? At the time, Supreme was the brand that was trending. So I was like, okay, I don't have money for buying a Supreme, nothing. But guess what? I'm gonna go down a town. I'm gonna see Supreme. Supreme was, I call them the real knockoff. The one that was spelled like it, look like it, everything, selling for $500. But going at the other store, them look as I need to see, yes, I look on it and everyone has sold for like a 5.5, 6.5. So in order to beat that competition, affordability, right? I have to cut the price. A $5 not get it for now. I may sell it about for 3.5. Right? So people say, wow, that's cheap. Even the OVO hats are selling as well, so I got that as well. And the money that I get, the thing with starting a new business, every dollar that you get, you invest it back into the business. So I started to buy my final store, my Chinese store, we sell Adidas sweatpants.
So the 8 grand one.
Adidas sweatpants, and sorry to the customers who bought, but them myself $1,000. So so me I have to match a price them. So at them time so me I sell it back for 3.5, and think Tommy Hill figure everything that is trending. I found the knockoff for it. It's spelled the same. I always look for spelling not Abibas, Adidas. So that was the thing. I went to private school. So he was selling like nothing. I was selling pop sockets that I bought for $50, for $500. I had ambassadors, that's selling for me as well and promoting. So that was in 2017 when I just left high school, and that was really great. But the thing is that at that time, I never had an entrepreneurship mindset, really. So when I get all of that money, me I buy phone, me I buy this, me I floss ends, me I do everything for burn up that. And I wasn't consistent because I was going to school 7 days a week, right? I wanted 7 days a week because I was doing all the sciences. Remember, all the sciences for CSEC, ANCAPE, AutoCAD, AutoCAM. I was the president for my youth group. I wanted to be the MP for my region, so I was doing a lot, So with that now, I never really had the time for it. It wasn't anything that I saw long term. It was just something I was doing right now because I need some money. I know I can't go to mother, so I need the latest iPhone. Yeah, right. You get me? Right. So this is how I made my money, and after that, it just gets, I never really care about it anymore because I wasn't being consistent. So even the page was booming. I got a lot of orders.
Is that passion there for it?
The passion, it was just that it was a lot of work, and because I even started to sell, so I moved up. I got partnerships with a store downtown that was importing a lot of shoes, clocks, everything. So even you go on my page from a clothing store, you see all of that. And what I did was I never bought anything. So I tell people all the time that you can start a business without spending any money, right? So with that now, person say, okay, I need 2 clocks. And because I have a partnership with the person, I can just go there, take up 2 clocks, go and go sell. If it doesn't sell, I can bring them back. Right. So I never lose any money. Right. So after that now, how I reach even to, so I said I want to stick with the name. People know it already and people tie it to me already. Right. So for the travel agency, it was not planned at all. There was no business structure, no marketing strategy, anything like that. I just say, all right, business are business. everything I believe that everything we can do, right? So I did that. Honestly, I made my first meal in 3 months doing that, clueless, right?
Alright, hold on. Before we get into how you made your first meal, let's get into how you form some of the partnerships with some of these hotels and resorts. Because I see there's no way that you can offer packages from these resorts if there's a partnership not established. So let's get into how you exactly establish these partnerships with these companies and how Ficadi Travel gains credibility in the market.
So, it's just, alright, I don't tell myself that I can't do anything, right? I'm gonna say no, right? So, I started to develop my business. I have membership of over 200 persons. That alone, before I even went to any hotel for any deals, I had that was when I just started. I gained a lot of memberships. And then...
Membership with what product or what service?
Membership, being a member in my company is basically, you qualify for a lot of discounts, right? Lots of giveaways. And Ficadi Travel is not just accommodations. We do flights, car rentals, excursions, cruises, event planning. So there's so many different fields in that where persons want discounts for. And our members get up to 30% off on those deals. Anything that we provide, they get discounts on that. So after that, now, it's basically these hotels need to know that you're bringing people. We can guarantee, and just having members alone, as well as my bookings, so all of that came into play when pitching that to them.
So you went to every single one of these establishments in person, or was it
No.
email correspondence?
No. When my business boomed was in the COVID period.
It boomed during COVID.
Boom, and it's tourism.
I can see why that would happen because being that no one is filling these spaces, you come into play and source individuals, right?
COVID was my best
And
period.
what I don't understand,
Right.
the government between, as it relates to tourism revenue, lost from March to April, now $30.6 billion.
Reason for that is because their target audience is international clients
They're outside of Jamaica.
outside of Jamaica.
So your main demographic is the locals. And getting,
Locals.
Right.
I try to dominate the smaller aspect of the business, which would be the locals, and seeing that the borders are closed, there's no international clients coming in. So I have to capitalize on the persons who are already here.
So the reach, tell me about Ficadi Travel's reach, because it seems like as it relates to your deals and your packages and your membership, it seems like everything came together very crisply. And for that to happen, I mean, I know that you seem like a very powerful and competent CEO, but every CEO needs assistance, every CEO needs support. So how does their network and how does the support as it relates to internal logistics come into play as it relates to getting Ficadi Travel out there and known to everybody?
All right, so as stated, in the COVID-19 lockdown was my best period, because that's when I put out an ad for ambassadors who would then serve as travel agents. A thing in business that persons should capitalize on is leveraging persons and different opportunities to the best of your ability. Most of my ambassadors have thousands of followers. That's marketing right there. Easy.
So you don't pay for that?
You get paid. In my agency,
No.
you get...
Do you, as in, for instance, you don't pay for marketing for Ficadi Travel, or is it that you just use the networks of your ambassadors to your advantage?
All right, so I pay my ambassadors based upon results. Results. So if you market 20 times for the week, and you don't bring in anybody, I still compensate for hard work. So regardless, if you put up, you don't get sales, I still compensate you, even though I mostly pay for results.
It would make sense because then it would encourage them to keep trying.
Definitely. Nobody wants to put in work and not getting paid for it.
Exactly.
So I have 56 ambassadors, right? Very hardworking. They themselves help mostly to put the business out there. And the thing with bringing in clients, they're lifetime clients. So anything that they book, whether it's a car, a hotel, a B&B, they get compensated for it for life, right? For life. So what I mean by that is that if you brought in John, right? John is your client for life. So if John bringing 10 persons behind him, those are also your clients.
All right, so what I'm trying to understand, so you're saying that no one else within your company will be able to take John as their client?
Unless John chooses to switch.
Okay.
But other than that, it's your client. And it's very easy to, basically marketing. But however, answering your question, that helped to push the business out there. Right? The mere fact that a lot of them they know a lot of persons. Their marketing team, their whole social media platform on a whole is marketing the business as well. As instead of paying for somebody to post who has 30,000 followers, I have ambassadors who have 100,000 followers. Right? And the business is out there. As well as other things. I have partnerships with a lot of businesses.
Can you name some of them? List some of them that
well,
or you can't. Confidential.
Going back to the ambassadors, that's what I actually learned about Ficadi Travel. Because I have a friend and she be posting on her WhatsApp status, I'm a brand ambassador, use my code for this and that. So the way how it's set up, like legitimacy, made me want to spend money, and I really like that about your company.
Okay.
So and another thing I admire about you and your company, you first, is a certain air of professionalism that, is very, I wouldn't say attractive, but I would say it is almost gravitating as it relates to, people in your space. You can actually tell that you have passion for what you're doing. You're really in this 110%, right? And we've interviewed some young entrepreneurs and we've seen some young entrepreneurs and they don't put out half the effort that you put into your business, but yet still they want the same results.
Definitely.
Now, as it relates to work ethic, right? How important, since we brought that up, how important is work ethic to you and how has it brought you to where you are now?
Work ethic plays a huge part in my business because I've spent countless hours on my business until I'm at the point now where I don't have to do anything. I have persons doing it for me. And that was the main purpose of creating a business and being entrepreneurs. That's one of the, and the thing is that I can work anywhere. If I get up today and say I'm leaving the country, I can work from wherever I am, in the comfort of my bed, and that brings me joy. Work ethic as it relates to my agents. I don't like to call them ambassadors because they're travel agents. It's very important. I like everything done to the T, and on time. Because time is money. It's money. And I can't afford to lose any clients. And definitely they want the money from the clients. So they work extremely hard. I am so proud of them. A lot of them put out the extra, like sometimes I look back and I just see them doing somewhere that they don't have to do, right? They don't ask me to just do it. They bring in their clients. Even if they don't bring in their clients, I still compensate them for it. I give rewards. I go above and beyond for my agents because they're the one bringing in the business. 9 out of 10 times, any bookings that I make is because of my agents. So definitely they are a huge part in my business, and their work ethic is just above and beyond.
Right. So what I'd like to know, Roshene, I mean, in building a business, for you building Ficadi Travel, was it like when you started it, was it an immediate hit, or was there a period in time where you're wondering like, yo, is this going to work?
Everything I touch is immediate hit. Everything.
Yo, this is drinking in form.
Everything. All right. My philosophy is it has to work or it has to work. There's no doubt in my game. Right? Even if I don't plan it while doing it, you know, things come together. And I'm the person who may see a job 10 times, depend, because I learned to work off other person's mistakes, but more on drop to see where you did feel. You know? Just like if you tell a child, don't touch the stove, it's hot, them still want to touch it because they want to say, what do you mean? What is hot? You know, it's going to burn you. What is that? You know, we want to experience it. So things like that, everything that I venture into is a definite. That's what I was telling you. In the first 3 months, I made my first meal, not knowing what I was doing. I was trying something. However, this business right now, I've never loved something as much as I love this. Long term, I am building 2 resorts. One has already started in St. Thomas, and the next one will be in Reddings. So with that being said, I am looking to dominate. I need a hotel in every single parish, hit up the Caribbean, go to the States, you know, and so forth. I want it long term.
You hear that? 2 resorts? Right. This is the reason why.
Listen to me. This is a 20-year-old young lady here speaking about building 2 hotels.
Yes.
Currently. Right. When I'm talking about fun, this is not fantasy.
Real life.
Right?
It's real life.
Come on, people.
But yo, this is the reason why we created MillionDollarConvos. This is the reason, you know, to
I'm sure that many people would have walked past her and not known, would not have known that this is the type of talent, the type of passion she possesses for business. You understand? And you know, when I hear things like this, when I hear conversations, when I'm in conversations like this, it really brings me to a level. It really brings me to a level where, you know, I can say, listen, Jamaica's potential for growth by the youth, it is exponential. Not because, you know, a few of us don't have this gene, not because a few of us don't have this gene, means that, you know, it's not going to happen. You understand? And I need to keep doing what you do to inspire me,
definitely,
as well as, you know, the entire population. So this is leading into my next question, because we spoke about, you know, building hotels and, you know, going through the motions. Now, Edmund Bartlett, the tourism minister, he recently stated in a JS news post that he's looking to reset the tourism business. Right? With you building 2 hotels now, with Ficadi Travel, how will that affect you? Because resetting 34% of a $15.71 billion structure is a massive task. And that will affect everybody down the line. Right? So how will that affect Ficadi Travel and your ventures from here?
Well, my ventures from here and how it will affect me. My thing kind of single out, where anything the government is doing, I ensure that I am not affected. And even if it comes, because any unexpected things that come, I normally am quick to find a way around it. COVID came unexpectedly, and I am in the tourism field. Exactly, so it would have affected me greatly. Nonetheless, I found a strategy to maneuver. Right? Likewise, anything that is coming that will hinder my business from moving forward or developing at the level that I need it to be at, I will definitely find a way.
Can you imagine a $107 billion loss to the tourism sector?
Big hit. And
this young lady's profit.
But it goes back
crisis
to the point that she made, where whatever the government is doing, it doesn't have to affect as long as you have a plan.
You have to, the thing is that with your business, you have to make it crisis proof.
Right.
So anything came, it come, hotels close and all of that. But guess what? This leads back to having multiple streams of income. Yeah, I wasn't getting as much bookings, but guess what? People stopped take public transportation. So my car rental business boomed. Persons wanted to, people are still making bookings. Places are still open. Hotels are still open as well. Persons wanted to, a lot of them have big families. So sometimes they had persons renting out some places. I don't just do hotels, I do hostels, I do B&Bs, I do rentals, I do apartments.
So the entire tourism,
everything
that encompasses Ficadi Travel provides.
Everything. And the thing is that being in business, and just because I just tell people, you have an idea, run with it before somebody else run with it.
And that's what happened with this. Exactly what happened with this. And Roshene, I can't tell you my level. I'm holding it down now. I'm very composed, but what you've been saying has blown me away. For a 20-year-old to achieve so much in such a short period of time, it blows my mind.
No, thank you.
Bro, it didn't blow my mind. You know why? Because I know that age is just a number. Mindset is everything.
Definitely.
But here's the thing. Society has geared us to think that, by a certain age you're not supposed to achieve a certain thing.
That's
right? But listen, that's what has been drilled into us. And our parents coming from that generation have been, involuntarily drilling that into us as well. And we don't expect things of certain age groups because of this. Because of this now, because of what we're doing here, and because of the people I'm meeting, my mind is no longer close to that, locked into that space.
Yeah. Going back to what you said about your parents drilling in you, like you have a choice.
Right.
But
listen. Alright, but listening to that repeatedly over the first 18 years of your life, it's lit. It's like your alarm clock in the morning. You understand? It beats constantly, and you know what it is. You know what? You understand? It's not something you can really get away from. If you're in the home of your parents, if you're in the seat of your parents, and they constantly do listen to you, you understand? It's hard. You get me, I said?
Well, I experienced that. But what I had to do is unlearn a lot of the things that I was taught.
All right, so let's bring this home. Let's bring this podcast home. It's been an amazing show again. Jason, I'm sure you can agree.
I'm sure this was inspiring, not even for the young entrepreneurs, but for the young females listening.
Not even just the young females, the older females who want to start. And are afraid to start. You are showing them that there is a way, regardless. So, regardless of your age, you are a role model for every age group. Right?
Thank you.
Let's bring this home now. What's next for Roshene? What's next for Ficadi Travel?
Ficadi, there is a lot coming. Hotels, villas, launches. I can't really specify. I have an excursion launch. Don't really want to put that out there because I don't really want anybody come thief my things,
I understand.
Yes. Stay tuned for that. A lot of things are coming. Having a restaurant as well. Apartments. Possibly a muse. So there's a lot of things coming. Other business ventures. You can look out for Fetch couriers coming your way very soon. And it will be dropping like a bomb. So there's a lot to look out for. Definitely, I am honored to be a part of this program and also meeting new individuals. I am also inspired and motivated with your work as well, and
it was really hard getting in contact. So when she said she's busy, guys, it's no cap, you get me? We appreciate you taking the time. We also like to go.
Of course.
Red Bull Jamaica.
Supporting a brand that supports us. You understand? And hopefully from these interviews we can form these partnerships of our own and propel not just ourselves but Jamaica to the next level. Right. So again, everybody, from the new studio.
Also,
Yes.
you know, we can shout out Creative Hub.
Oh yes, a big thanks to Kingston Creative.
Creative Hub.
Creative Hub for hosting us.
Right.
You know, for making this environment very hospitable for us to do this interview, to come, you know. And you know, we hope to be using this venue more so we can bring quality
Quality is
content,
our priority.
right? Remember guys, follow Slows JA. Understand the YouTube page, like, subscribe.
Naturally,
People.
you know, guys, we have more cards coming.
This definitely. Let's Drive is on the way. You understand? Everybody like Porsche. Let's go. Stay tuned and until next time. We're out, alright?
Oh, peace.
Woodley on the beat.
Sure.
It was a beautiful session.
You know.